good morning, Saday. And good morning to everybody listening here on the island and also abroad. You know, it's a very beautiful day, even though it's raining, but it will give some water to our trees. Yes, I'd want to take this time to pay our respects and also our greetings to all the listeners and traditional leaders and also our government leaders, and especially to those who are struggling with addiction of any sort, especially meth, because meth is the one that we're going to be talking about. And also for those people that are who are suffering because of a loved one who's going through this addiction. So greetings to you all. I hope that you would give us your time and your to listen to what we have, because hopefully whatever that one of us might say will be helpful to you or your loved one. So today we have with us our speakers is Brother Steve, but he's going to be on recording. He's in the States. So he does this. He records it every Thursday, sends it down here to be part of the show on the following Thursday. They fix it up and everything. And also Alex Ngiraingas, who is a retired veteran, entrepreneur, addiction counselor, trainer, and CPH coordinator at PCC. That's a lot. That's a lot. And then you have me, who's your host today. I got a good smile and also a 2-year recovery from this drug meth. You know, I'm been going strong for 2 years. Doc, thank you very much. And a lot of people out there that are part of it. Also, we got Dr. Sylvia Wally, who's a psychiatrist, physician, and from Division of Behavioral Health and Ministry of Health. Yes, so you can find her at BH. Yes. We got my awesome sister over here, Ripka Kintaro, who's an addiction counselor, a communication guidance center, Behavioral Health, Ministry of Health. So, yeah, there we go. We were supposed to have Beckwin, but something came up. Family, what do you call this? Obligation. So he's not going to be here. But I'm pretty sure he's going to be part of the future shows again. Now, the theme for the talk show today that we're going to be mostly talking about is the consequences of this hard drug. So, but before anything that we do here on this journey of life choices, we always start off with a prayer. And with that, we would want to give the floor to Brother Steve. Okay?
Ali, and welcome to the Journey of Life Choices program with your host, our brother Jacob Yangilmau, my good friend. I'm Brother Steve Mapes Taywid here on Palau Wave Radio, and I want to, in the program today, share a testimony with you to encourage you, my friends. This is a testimony of a fellow Palauan and a very well-known, famous baseball player, and he has given me his permission to share his testimony with you here on Palau Wave. It's a testimony of encouragement. It's a testimony that's a bit scary because his life was nearly destroyed by drugs and multiple addictions. It's a little bit scary because of the consequences that he faced. Nearly completely destroyed him and his family, became homeless. It was just a horrible thing that happened to him as a drug addict. But there's a happy ending, and it's found in our Lord Jesus and deliverance that he found. And now he's drug-free, my friends. And so here's his testimony. This is a brother in the Lord who was trapped by multiple addictions really bad. He was and is a well-known baseball player in Bailau, has a great glove, playing out in the field, a great arm, really fast. But he was living a very, very worldly life. And he wanted me to share his story here on Palau Wave because he wants his fellow Palauans to know the truth about drugs, the consequences The reality of what you lose when you go down that path. They nearly killed him, nearly destroyed him, and brought his life to the brink. Now, he ended up moving to the States, and, after playing baseball in Belau, he moved to the States. And we don't want any of us to think, that we would move to the States and lose everything. I mean, that's not what we think, about our relatives and friends that move to the States. We don't think that. We think people are going there to, save more money or go to school, things like this. Well, that didn't happen for him. My friend was in a long-time relationship, and his wife was with him, I believe it was around 14 years. And they had 2 beautiful daughters. But they were growing up without him in the household because his addictions caused him to lie, to steal, to cheat. And his addictions got so bad they consumed his life, turned him into a different kind of person. I remember my mom telling me that from my own father. She's like, when he was addicted, he's a different kind of person. Don't hate him. We need to pray for him, is what my mom told me. Anyway, my friend, he was hooked to all kinds of drugs and bad. And not just drugs, he was hooked to pornography as well. He admits that. In Palau, he was able to still play baseball, but the drug problem in the States, it got so bad. And here's the consequences he shared with me. He ended up losing his job. Finally, it got so bad with his wife, she had to leave him. She and her daughters, they could no longer believe a single word that he said. So he was alone. And to make matters worse, he became homeless. When I think about a fellow Palauan being homeless and living on the streets of America as a drug addict, it makes me shudder to think that this can even happen. And it did happen. I shudder to think a fellow Palauan, a person people cheered for at Asahi Field as a homeless addict, and that's what happened to him. And in that low point in his life, he heard about a hospital recovery program, and he thought, if I don't get into that recovery program, if I don't get a change in direction, I'm going to be a dead man. He literally had no hope. He called his ex. He asked if she would be willing to pick him up and bring him to that recovery program. She thought he was lying. Like, I want nothing to do with you. But he was pleading, please pick me up. Please bring me to this recovery program. It's my last chance at life. And so she thought, well, he might do the unthinkable if I don't get him. So she went, she picked him up, she dropped him off at the hospital recovery program. But to his sorrow, after she had dropped him off, they had already filled the last slot in the program. He walked out. He thought his life was over. He crossed the street. The nurse must have realized that just the absolute despair in his face, because the nurse, she ran out onto the street. She stopped him. She said, "Hey, we're going to make room for you. We're going to make room for you. We'll make a slot for you." So here's the good news. Not only did he get off of drugs, praise God, but now with Jesus in his life, he found the power and the hope to stay off those drugs. He found the power, he found the hope to stay off of those drugs. And when he first was sharing with me, he had been clean for over a year. Now, I went to one of these Palauan Bible fellowship gatherings that they do in the States. They have a couple of big ones every year. In fact, there was just a fairly large one recently in Utah. Anyway, I met him at one of these, and he was telling me his story. Well, his daughters were now grown, and they were living about an hour drive from where this Palauan Bible fellowship, where this big gathering was going to be taking place. And he wanted to go because he reads the Bible, he's walking with Jesus, he gets that continual encouragement in his life. And his daughters, lived, about an hour from where this fellowship was going to happen. So he contacted his daughters. Now, you remember, they wanted nothing to do with him. And he asked if they would meet him. They said, "Diak." But he was understanding. He simply said, hey, I'm going to block time before this fellowship happens to see you. I'm going to block the time. If you don't want to meet me, I understand, but I'm just going to block the time, and I just pray you'll change your mind, because I'm changed. I'm a new person. He just prayed they would change their mind. And so he traveled to where the fellowship was going to be, and he contacted them, and they agreed to meet him. They wanted to see if this was true. And when they met with him, they found out he was a new man in Jesus. He found out he was no longer on drugs, no more double life. This man had hope. He was clean for a long time. And so they saw that he was changed, and they said, hey, we are willing to see you more. We're willing to see you. And not only this, he got to meet his grandchild for the first time. They let him meet his grandchild. And they said, not only can you meet your grandchild, but we want you to be a part of your grandchild's life. Amen and amen, my friends. New life in Jesus. And here's the kicker. When I saw him last summer, his wife had taken him back, and they were moving to be near their daughters. Wow. That is amazing. You know, there's no limit to what God can do, right? There's no limit to what God can do in our lives. He brings, just as I shared in the sermon message, because I share on Sundays on Palau Wave Radio, I believe it's 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 6 p.m., God brings new life to dead situations. And with that hope, here on the Journey of Life Choices program, I'm going to offer a prayer and turn it over to my brother Jacob Yangilmau. Heavenly Father, I ask that you would bless all the listeners across Bay Lao. God, this story that I've shared is true. And God, you take dead situations and you put life into them. You put new life into us and hope, God. And I'm praying that all the listeners would know that we have hope and we have a new life in you. May we put our faith in you. Lord, there are consequences to the things that you do, but God, you flip the coin on our lives and you give us a second and a third and a fourth new chance, God, new hope. God, we thank you for your great love. We ask your blessing in this program, your blessing on my brother Jacob Yangilmau as he hosts it. And I pray this prayer and thank you in advance. In Jesus' name, amen and amen.
Amen. Wow. That was a very powerful testimony of a fellow Palauan up in the States, you know. Exactly what he said, that we think we'd leave Palau to go up to the States and, you know, get better and save money and further education. But if we don't take care of the addiction, we're actually going to somewhere where they produce these drugs, and then it can really lead to a very dark and bad life. So thank you very much, Brother Steve. And also thank you very much to that fellow Palauan who gave you the opportunity to share his testimony. Now, with that, we would want to turn the mic over to Alex Ngiraingas so that he can share with us some of the things that he went through and the consequences and also how the hardships. And not only that, but what really got you coming out of it and everything.
Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Jacob. I'm going to sort of talk story with Palauan, okay?
Okay.
Mamalung tuta wa bekan adal waring sa tiap program nga Alex Ngiraingas. Nga mal right now mal recovery all the time. Been on recovery for the last 15 years.
Wow.
My drug of choice was methamphetamine, heroin, alcohol, tobacco.
Wow.
In other words, ATOD.
What's that?
ATOD, alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs.
Oh, okay. Tobacco and other drugs.
My addiction was not here in Palau. I was off island in Guam. I lived in Guam most of my life, and that's where I got most of my addiction at. And I was deeply into meth and heroin. They called it, in street terms, speedballing.
Speedballing.
I used to shoot up cocaine or meth with heroin. And you get this yo-yo feeling up and down. So I was really addicted to these things. And then we ran out of heroin in Guam, so I stuck with meth.
There was meth at that time. 50. When did meth come over?
Late 90s.
Late 90s. Okay.
So for 7 years I've been a meth user.
At that time. Yeah.
I started out smoking it, and then it got to the point where it wasn't enough for me, so I started shooting it up.
Okay.
I learned how to use intravenous use, and so I get that real strong euphoria when I shoot it up.
Yes.
And so I was doing that for about 7 years. And during that journey that I was in, I heard a lot of people. Batokar adil no tomal aklangatir. I was mal aklangan ka man ni mering. Atra aplica de umesatir. Gangan baby na kan kiyakari. Mautir. Ngaragil swak. Mal nung sisi los pe mo mula kalbus ito. During this time, mula school, mga UOG, mula pa social work program, at 204 graduate. And believe it or not, Jagobe, mala diploma na kay plumba.
Oh my. Okay.
And was really something else. And so when I got my diploma, I sat down and I said, what am I going to do with this? Well, not only was I using, I was also dealing to supply my habit.
Yes.
Which is very expensive. At that time, it was like $1,000 a gram.
Oh.
It's like a couple of grain rice. And
yes, I understand.
So I sat down and thought a lot. I said either I do something about my addiction, or I end up here in Guam dying or going to jail for a long time.
Yes,
And so I said, no, the thing that I should do is change my whole scenery. You know what I'm saying? Change the people I know, places that I go to, and the things that I do. And the only way was to go to Palau.
Okay.
Go back to my roots.
Because you were really connected up there in Guam.
Oh man, I was one of the main men.
Oh, okay. That's why it's.
I did some really bad things to people. I wouldn't want to say it on the air because it's really.
So you like what Father Pastor Mapes was sharing? You cheat, you lied, you stole.
Everything
that we can think of.
If somebody owed me money for the drugs that I sold them, I go into the house. Even the kids and the family are sitting in the house. I go there and I pull him out and threaten him or beat him up. And they don't pay. I go inside the house, take whatever valuable worth the things that they got from me. And I didn't have no feelings. I mean, I was in that mode.
You're numb to everything.
And so I had told myself that I need to change places, people, and things. And so I decided to come to Palau. And because I didn't really know much people in Palau, and at that time there wasn't really meth going around.
Meth at that time, like in the early 90s, it wasn't, you didn't really hear about it on the streets.
So when I came on 2004, I graduated 2004, and then a month later I flew in. So what happened is I started coming down. I mean, I was really high when I came in. I arrived at the Ira airport. And I told myself that I'm going to go through this. And then as I started coming down, I started getting withdrawals. It was really bad. And so I told my brother who was living here, I said, take me to the Rock Islands.
What?
Rock Islands. Alba.
Alba.
Oh, aye.
But that was your mode to treat your withdrawal?
Yeah, cold turkey. I had to do it cold turkey. Yeah.
So that's another option for people.
It was a really rough way. It's not like going through detox.
No.
it's something I try to avoid from everybody from knowing here in Palau. I'm
Yes.
starting a new life here.
Yes, exactly.
And so I stayed in the Rock Islands for 2 weeks. I did cleaning, fishing, smoking fish, did all kinds of stuff there, and I went through hell.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
What kept me going was tobacco, was smoking at that time. So 2 weeks after that, I cold turkey. I came back out. I came back to Koror and I lived in Koror. And fortunately for me, Dr. Wally was the chief of the Division of Behavioral Health at that time.
Okay.
And they were looking for social workers, because I'm a professional trained social worker.
Yes.
And so they hired me. I worked. And right off the bat, after they hired me, there was ongoing training on addiction counseling at PCC.
Okay.
And so I enrolled in there, and I completed the course. At the same time, I got hired to work as a social worker with before Community Guidance Center. It was Badol before.
Yes.
Okay, so I went there, and then finally, the person that was there left, and Dr. Wali assigned me to run the program. And so I started running the program until I retired in 2015. And the important thing I'm trying to say here is that one of the best ways to maintain my recovery
Yes.
was to talk to people, help people
Yes.
with that problem.
That's really true.
And it kept me going, so that's why I haven't. I've been in recovery for 15 years.
Yes.
So I have the strength now to maintain my recovery. At the same time, recovery can be a very a tricky situation,
Why so?
because you physically get addicted once you're off the physical addiction. The psychological addiction.
Oh,
sticks
yes.
in.
That is very true.
And guess what? I work at the Ministry of Health at that time, and every time I see somebody getting a shot or syringe or drawing out blood,
Oh, it triggers.
it sort of triggers me and gives me flashback to the euphoria that I used to take when I was used to the drug.
Okay, okay.
But still, also positive talking and positive talking about yourself and keeping yourself in line helps a lot.
Yes.
And so, but because of the work that I did, that was the main force that kept me on my recovery journey.
Okay. That's I got a question for you. When you were using, isn't it like a cycle while you were really into it? Was it like a cycle? Like it's like unbreakable cycle. Like every day we would chase after that.
And that's very true, Jacob, because I'd spend the whole day. If I ran out of my supply, I would go to the man's house to pick up my supply. And I would and he was not home. I would spend the whole day parked there waiting for him.
Waiting for him. We would do just things that we would not believe that we would do.
I mean, I spent days or hours just waiting for the person to come over and give me my supply. And that was a lot of idle time I really spent. And
its time spent.
Yeah. So looking back at that, I just told myself I'm lucky that I got out of this, because most of the people that were with me during the time, either they're in prison, or they're dead.
Yes.
Yeah. Or they're really seriously sick.
They're sick. They're physically
sick.
Yeah. Yes.
Bedridden, things like that.
A lot of things has taken over there.
So I see this drug problem in Palau, and it's getting bad. It's getting bad, and I hope that through this education and programs that you're doing can really help pick up and help these people begin to realize that this is not the path to go on.
Oh, yes. There's a lot of people that realize that we are having a problem, and they're trying to figure out what to do, or once they're gonna eventually we're gonna find what we can do. Everybody, like in the hamlets and like Lators and like Ripka over here. I can really tell you she's doing a lot of youth things up in Eang. So those are little things that would, like you said, time, right? To take time to enrich these kids, these youth, to make better choices, journey of life choices, right, Doc? It's like those things. So it was really hard for you during those time. And when you came back, it was just that one time went to the Rock Island and that was it?
I physically got off the addiction physically, but psychologically I would still be thinking about it. So what I would do was do self-talk. I keep myself occupied, do things like the work I was doing before I retired from the Ministry of Health. And I do a lot of prayers.
Yes.
I turn to God as
Yes.
part of
God.
the spiritual
Yes.
trip.
Very
Yeah.
important.
It takes a whole community for this to help people, Jacob.
Yes.
For some of us, and we're fortunate that we're still alive to talk about it. Our journeys were personal, okay? But then not everybody can do the same thing like I did.
Yes.
We all have different abilities and different ways of doing things. But we need to help the community as a whole. And it's the community that needs to stand on its feet and help people in the community get away from this addiction.
Okay. Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Doc.
Mal masaule Alex mas kamama yel kura ngi experience ka ora tialos pale lam hital garam lamo 14 years el dia kamo
15, right?
15 years
15
years el roy del dia kalo spe tial hital gar magi mal amat ka we congratulate ka lo say you're a
you,
role
yes.
model ka ma Yakob.
I still got a long way to go to 15.
Hindi ka 2 years. At least that's progress.
Yes.
At al mahital ka rakot al maring la do lupatrar at al modi halos pe ngi
Yes.
ay kay gidal ble ng ila rang miu mol da swiwa ul mong kom ngarti ang rel ang mga du ra adra balu marangaya sagal lo maklat kertira sel ngia ay gel kantil matar adel tial al mahital ka abalwat maus palel ral sila tulungal ga maungal ga maigel to ko rakla adar gidal mo makngit hindi suwa kal lo ay sara ngar adara balulo say tial teletele la ako recovery ra ang gidele Alex at talgibel ngot ra tial recovery ra ay Yakob.
Yes.
Le Yakob am lo spe ra yel to ko ra urul al mo mingi de bringi lol to bringi ra to ko ra.
Actually, there was 2 times, Doc.
Why
2
say?
times. I did the first one
Why say?
like him, but it wasn't in the Rock Islands.
Oh.
It was at the house.
Uh-uh.
I did that the first time. The second time I came and
Why say?
Yes.
Mangaring ay dal te al ra adal sa el dingi al modi kalospe. Mang mo malas mal mangroy ngi ra ge rogul to el nya sa el oridi. Endi ngaring yar adal guk mo miitut tam tamospe ra to ra urul mal ubang igel dudulo say mlamo ka mga tara mo ay diesel la am hital kara lospe masel bola kal lospe ang mal mo maring ngi mo uspe ra to ra urul al lol nga ngi. Hindi aguk tirigel adal waya Alex el dimlengil mo sa clean moral ba abo mang aroy dra arbeklat
From everybody.
oh
He even moved from Guam to here so that he can stay away from
why
everybody.
say mang dire kal ngarngi isel dol ko ngi ilwa say ngirel mo mkotmok le trokok klar mo mal da swem al mo dibu sertiang raw era si seberngi
Yeah.
lendi kal sebe embel ko radi sono mama eso yi seberngi leng di kawal los araw maluben di kawal ruli ya to era kla dar kal mal mangal mo urusi ringi ya igal to ra uru lang argil ka karusel bek pedengel el dia kal ukil dil imong al murat a rekla mang sebe de lo siga gidel te al lengale Alex am lom saudra to ra ayay gidele edole la to ra klalid el nya dire kal milisi rarngul al diwa ya Yakob rel al time dire kal meso kal loger ngi lo say tial to ra meditation ka dire kal usus peringi
Tokora meditation tokta tara dire malkrol do ngul spering.
oh oi
Leng sel meditate dire meditate self reflector.
why say
Self reflect dak mo mesig dak mo meka di Jesus musingak magala la na to dra school mak magala. Ak mal mom di way sigi de mo grel gir. Ak mo meditate dire mo das so I deeply reflected on myself and then I found out and I told myself there is no the direction I'm going right now is it's not the direction I should be in. I got 10 plus spending in school and now it's my opportunity now to really help myself. So I really thought about it. I meditated a lot, and especially when you send mom das to other blab. I think part of the things that I'm doing now is also to sort of redeem myself from the hurt and pain that I caused other people. Because this is a bad trip. I mean, this journey of methamphetamine, will make you do anything. Will make you do anything that you don't normally do in your normal life.
Yes.
In a way, I just wanted to get away from everybody and try to start over the new life. Clean slate. That's what I wanted. It's a clean slate.
Yes.
Yeah. And and I've seen, and even up until this present time, I hear and I know some people here on the island are using, and that also gives me flashback. I say, oh, maybe I just go get one plate and just
Yes,
you know.
Yes.
But then
Do you? After 15 years, do you still have dreams about it?
yes, I have fantasies. I fantasize the euphoria that I used to get from this.
So it's a never-ending battle.
It's never ending battle. Recovery. I'm going to be in recovery for the rest of my life.
But so you're still recovery, but you're still struggling with this addiction, just like what Dr. Wally and we've been saying, that this addiction is a lifelong addiction. Now, but if you were to choose, like, seriously, it's a struggle every day, but is it better than the day when using?
It's a struggle, and I know that I can get it, and I know the feeling that I can get. But then I look on the consequences
again, like
and again, and I say no. When I weigh it together, the other side is totally different.
And it leads down to like total destruction.
And so I continue with my negative, my positive talk about myself, meditation. Meditation. I even do even up to today.
Wow.
I meditate to give me strength because recovery is a lifelong process, and anytime you can relapse. I relapse you know about relapse is going back to the same behavior. So relapse is possible.
Yes.
And the only way you could do it is to maintain that path you're on. Again, take spiritual into your life. At the same time, continue with that positive thinking.
Okay. And positive influence of peers and
ngari Alex selwa say kau kamal ngara sel ko mumdas we mlukpage ngara yel ko ramle ngia ul mo spare tel klal ngara yel ko ram lori marakal mo spare
nga tokta sebo kumdas ngi tiakotel addictive drug di metal guspe di metal tagwi merogo nga ka namo in love tokta nga sil
I see.
Ang palsogok. Makmalum lo sigari. Makmo sigari matakay malmilalan makma o sigaw do de la source ultra ringi e mangartian makita lobatial profit nga kal mga ringi leng malmilalan. Akmo ndim na kung uspe ringi ak amal to do de real time.
I see.
Di wadu mastuang al mema do ustuang dito la kal lastuang al mga ringi la ultra ringi kada brok.
Suburer. Okay. Ngarasel momdas ko ko ul makarngi langarngi trigel other el angalospe el of course ang tokoira or omilil mangarang ito so isberng hindi ngarngi trigel el kora duro aseng Choces tir ng kurang ngarngi amlo koram tar surak langartir to koram lo to awak lospe tel klalo.
Tilabal umil point toktal one of the major incidents in our life ranga ka nga kami ne el simra federal made el imerak ligire el heroin
tela imerak
5 years mrigel
ligire legal drugs
ukire la heroin selta na vela manim si heroin ringi sel time makmanim si los pe direk no masim le imerak nga kapi sel time yak me tamal pi legal gukno dami mo I was very depressed for 1 year merago segi de poktamis ngi it just changed the whole life outlook.
I see.
Miskakasel I was in control. Miskakasel euphoria.
Takal mo dami rangi
I'm gonna be good at everything.
Melang sebedel mulo say kada mga du ulmurar adara balulo maklat kertil wasay tirgel kora adalo la randir ilgira lakmong rang malube tagurusi malubeng kora ngarngi adu barak langartir el tira mal magurusi ralsel komta swing instead ra turn over el morame te lo sigang eso el mga dura mal ube lo sigang eso ra tora grul tora igelesial lo lang seurtir mal kalsis braiga.
Mal way say toktan imbato karole la sa edel address ay kang sa edel mo do mo mesa way community professional mo do ngi gila way take it of the swim roy malaka mo dura adal mo mararingi multura mo mararingi mo do ngi do swim roy malaka si emluwa tokola lidin mem milisi irgaw
I see.
Ay ka mal bitoka roli la kita kakarusa ngani gil sibeluror ma takaluror.
I see.
That's very true.
Oh, like the recovery program for you. You went cold turkey, lo de kalsabel, lendim lokaw,
Yes.
de kalsabel makamlel mu tal try,
Yes.
de kaldiak, mga end up el miraw grul.
Oh, the on my story, like there's two incidents that I end up using. One was when I was 19 years old. That's the first introduction into meth. You know, not even knowing. And then I went about a year. Into using,
I see.
and many things. I've already started stealing. I already started selling things in my room. I started selling running errands and selling ice to the point where my son was born. He was born, and that was the first intervention with me and God. Like I could really say that both times God played a big role in me changing my outlook in life. Because when my son was laying in the what do you call that, incubator? What is that? You know, when the baby's born and put into the
Incubator.
Right, okay. And I'm standing right there, and I'm high, just like how you got your diploma or
Degree.
degree. You got your degree and you're blown. So me, I have a son who's just born, and I'm like looking down and I'm crying because I'm saying, what kind of father am I going to be to this kid? So I said, Lord, can you help me? Let me get off this addiction. And so with that, I didn't go to any hospital. I just went cold turkey. When you said it was hard in the Rock Islands,
Oh, let me tell you, that was a trip. That was a journey that
yes.
I wouldn't wish it on anybody.
No, exactly. Like it doesn't matter where you are, but for him, he was keeping himself busy.
Busy.
Me, I was laying in the bed like I thought I was about to die because going how many weeks without that thing, like from using every day to all of a sudden it coming out of your body. I felt pains in places like my knees, my foot, my brain. I cried even. So that was the very first time that I went clean. And then after 12 years or 13 years, when after I came back from the military and going through depression, because I split with my wife then. My kids were not with me. I'm down here. I'm like, I left the army. I'm here just drinking like no other. Until again, after even becoming governor was not even satisfying, because there was something in me that was missing. So I ended up using alcohol, which ended up being meth. And then
So the alcohol made the meth worse, or the meth made the alcohol worse, or both?
Actually, when you're on meth, you drink alcohol, you don't get drunk.
you don't get drunk.
You don't feel the effects of alcohol
That's-
because the drug is much more stronger than alcohol.
Let me share with you what my best friend. Now this is my best friend. I was clean after I became a governor, and then about a year or two later, it was my birthday. I think some people know about this story, but he invites me over to his place, and then we go to a karaoke place. He offers me ice. It's a birthday gift. I looked down at it and I said no, because I remember all the crazy things that happened when I was 19. But then after drinking a few, one of the really good thing that he said was this. He said, "Hey, kada di trial one time, ekluho quit." Like, you know, so because what he's saying is that if we're gonna use this ice, we can use till whatever So that's true, but it was one of my worst mistakes that I ever did. Like one of the worst decisions in my life. One night of partying versus a lot of people, like causing a lot of pain to a lot of people, losing my job as a governor, losing the respect of the community, stealing. I mean, you name it, but it's crazy. It's so this drug is not something that is a simple thing that we can just say that it's like cigarette. I mean, cigarette is addictive, but this will destroy you it can destroy you in months.
Misal mol oring ako pa global gular adara blue apolo ng ilwasi. Al sugo mga ringar adal mga suse orakaw al gakrel ngal kamalube ka klol al dital mospe mela ka mospe. Len dital mospe ese ong ido korak lang arakaw mamuring.
Oh yeah.
Leng akmeng ilwasi ngaring itiri lospe ako ka malix al tamoradil emol tarartil mo de kaududir.
Tila mali tokta tila journey planning
mal belaw
belaw la happening
o sisul timing so kaloger kamul sa alkom dire kal moltra or kamul malay kal klalo tora liway al sugo mangaring yara dil los ngaring ini.
I've never been put in that situation.
Hindi may back pay mo involve multiple partners.
Promiscuity. Sel tele la tora HIV, syphilis, aygal
yeah, when you're on this drug, you pretty much don't care about any. Yes, you can be like, and plus one thing that I've heard, because I go and kind of study about it, right? Why do I end up using? What do I go through? And one of the things that a lot of people are using it for is sexual. Sexual enhancement. So not only can you drink but they use it because so they can have that feeling. They can go longer. I mean, I don't know.
Ceremony enhancement includes actually practicing your fantasies.
Oh yeah.
Either with multiple partners or other ways. Again, because we all have fantasies, eh? When I get fantasies, we want to fulfill. When you're high on meth or ice,
anything comes.
Anything is possible.
When I was on drugs, when I was governor and I was using, I was, you know how you say, do you sell yourself or no? I didn't sell myself, but I did favors. As a governor, I was doing favors
for other people.
I'm doing errands for these drug dealers. I really didn't care about my the people that voted for me. No, it was all about this high. I was running around like asking them because as a governor, I didn't make a lot of money. We don't make a lot of money here in Palau. For you to be able to use this drug, you have to be a very rich person for you not to sell. You have to be, because it's expensive.
Ngania tokor belaw Alex ako mayakop halbololol koring ilwasi maldi mo di busel madala makabudara mata di mo di busel madala makabudara mata kita gengawal. Okay, alitial ice ngaring isel point talbo mo spering mo talabial lamata selbol talamya pial lamata namo di busel madala makabudara mata kita gengawal ling sabi edal dirmo lang idil tokoy elngi adi katom kareo rakantil el mergid marmorara
tila tokta amal to el gidan me adura earlier I got meth ruspe ira temela magmat Ishabal uspe ay gigit el murtigir ala kumikazis mo bageran di laklo mkare di tiro mwadak
they say even the Nazis
voice to uspe gigit el militia soldar tim blakandul mo and I don't know if I suspect Miguel ada ko ngi ako mal history ngi di gigit understand diranga gigit meth it's been experimented and used on other nations during the war conflicts.
It's not something new.
I say tokora omsu maktio I say Alex sa kumsadra ay gidele Nazis tirgale adreger adois el numakamat ngel Adolf Hitler game memletara mal influencer soldado ng iratial
yes, that is very true.
Say drabol marektial makamat. You know what happened to him? Dimlangil ngwak lang aring.
No, bang pering wak commit suicide. Why is he?
Leng lor sel go the law sel dula se hit rock parum. Evigia suplar ngilam lalus. Maududel man namudia. Mang end up ngwak lang aring. Ay gayid yel dula se tal malel tial mahital garal gire del gauklat kal dihatos
We have to remind each other, because you know the whole purpose of this talk show and this coming out every 2 weeks, right, Ripka? Every 2 weeks is because so that we can share awareness, we can spread awareness, and keep on going. And it's not we're not asking for people to come over here and sit and talk about it, but we're asking for people to stand up and start at the house. If your family member is using, help them out. The best way is to pray. If you're a spiritual person, pray, please. Pray for your son, pray for your daughter, pray for your nephew, whoever it is that you're. Now, if you're a user and you're struggling, one of the best way, if you were to look into YouTube, you will find that a lot of people, including myself and including Alex, and many more people that have overcome this addiction, a lot of us have something in similarity. God, Jesus Christ. that is, and then also, you know, by leaning on Him, we'll get more courage to go to PH. We get more courage to really actually listen. So, it's things that we look forward while we're doing this talk. Is that people in the hamlets, you know, we take care of one another, and including helping NEA. I mean, in many ways, one thing that I can really say is that if I'm going to be using, like if I end up using, no, I'm not going to end up using that.
Slip
of the tongue. I've never. What I'm saying is, if I was like, if before, back in the days when I was using, and if I was to drive around fast and driving or whatever, carelessly, and I hit somebody and I hurt them, paralyze them or something, or even kill them, that's going to be on my conscience for the rest of my life.
I see.
Now, for everybody else, we know that we keep talking about these dangers. We have to help one another as Palauans here in the islands and abroad, because this is also on Facebook, right? Yes, it's for everybody else that we should take care of one another. You know, by saying, please come back, like, you know, a best friend goes and says, this is not you. Can you come stick with me and we'll be good? Like, you know. So those are little things that we would really. Okay, there's a caller. Yeah, please.
Ke malungit tuta ko lang ngirair.
Malungit tuta Savoy. Awera ko do ngal santi asanu mal Loren sergamiu. Wara mo malmo ongilarungo ko Loren sergamiu sa vertial tora ais. Hindi ngari awan el tol memel alu usrap tulu ke Dr. Wally. Tial kentila ais al atir ga yidil ngar olbira lulau ma a president belau marubugul belau marmasil belau al atir ga bolo dang li tial kentil matal malel makmal olngit engde odik mutigal adik adeng egara jo mem gulngit tumsel bol ngania ondi bertis ebo molgorti ebo mobongama mar adrablul molgorti lo asegami yang anya klisiu el malla malshi tiagid el togora ais endimle elis wemlaria togora dalboes engid imol bela milgis el malshia aar matamhan lomring mangada belsil mem gulngit ma mobongama mar adrablu ebo do aisra rogul mereder kidra ge rogul lol saal langaringi letirga bolo dangli tial tel malel makantila ais enga mal di merenga suliu mukalebo lugang riun masada akantil kama mal adra blu kimla mom dela kantil ndi tel malel tirga ge del mereder kid arubugul belau marmasil belau ma ako kongres belau ma president bela dirga bolo dangi Koman sulang.
Thank you very much, Colin. That's very good point. Very good point. Yes, that's why we're asking for everybody. Everybody has a role.
Takes a community.
Takes a community, takes an island, takes a nation.
I see. Nungmal masaule koler santi asanuma rayel ngi kura concern ngi lomda swing mal global wool ra otter bangil tial mahital karabelwa. Tial ol koring ya ko ma kali Alex amal dio sisiu ngi Ripka. Tamal ko ilwasay tial otter bangil mahital kara dia kaldil tokoy ra di tertamatal ang imol arangalela imol belu amotmak emo sabaril masisi el lotogur sel el ngi aklisi el modiak tial mihital karabalu mang aigel lolo el waser adar olbi lama rubukul belaw mga taklela belaw masil belaw ngiri el mo o masisi el ngara ondib el malas malmali para tele la otter bangil tial mahital garling al sugum kaduguk tios per sum kaduguk tios o dio meser ngi ra to ko ra ugrul maluben to ko ra ngalbus enti al sabe el di kal bolak ngirel imol belu amgi sel modo ore o magasel tabasula roguy enya mo sabe el matrop tial toy leng atokora enforcement tay misel kadalal maktirekal uptatriar adara a Ministry of Justice marang ang tiraka nga mall al under surveillance al mall al site al petition ragay sertir al mga albus sertir al through AG's office and di what happens it's a revolving door le ngil dir nga niya access sertigel ngi ang niya klisiir al Robert Yang adir kami ituut al dir ka will step up to the plate loban tri rar adal tiri enforce ay gidia mang adara baluro guya giril motma ge motaul the swir masel da kakatkak le durior eng medevay sa rogul toy al di abo do lipas ratang matang mal masawla santi
Subidong kalkole. Okay. Malungit tuta kole ngirair.
Ko lagi maklat karar mira ol kuyong la el may mga dadua ay sa isela to ko mira bla belaw la se kida ngar belaw ki palolito lo sa mo wal ra jaklo nget ko ram rigel asum ko mo ko ram rigel mo marekel ngari olioid mira mo wal ra menga sa sum ko ko ram rigel kung da sum to dire ngaya sa karme ka siya ya ko mamar adra tulo pamlo en saikal pamala ma ay sarablo abi da ki babo
Saulanggele, kolere, sadoy, maral to ko, yagi malas mal kakatkak malukot to ko ra nga para tamapelaw, lengar nga bebir ka mamal di kalsal malukot to ko ra abelaw, o magi mo malas mal lo makatak, lenti bebir atay magi obes, legugukti at agi ayama, ending, ti agi di atele le sadoy, sel paata kakaro sa understanding argi tra to ko, endire kal momring argi takut makla imol to ko. Leldum kat momsaw dara ay kagi dele erwa tirkal mga takle labalu a president mar adro olbi tirkal malukot ko nga parde tirkal malukot belaw di most of the time edo liballa eng to ko nga parde mongori di segi del to ko era siuka ngargid ma aklisi ela klader gidra klibelaw al mosab edel mingid bergid ro ko mod ore e o makasel tabasud le language sa dire kaltara barrier to why things don't happen and they don't come out exactly right mang segi dalol ko ring Yangilmau yakmal ayama el almong agi mo malas mal al lolyoy de mga adult to korbela mang mosab el understand dar bekla
Ngaria kolere. Malungil tuta kole ngirair maklang re mga dadu.
Malungil tuta sadoy ngal Ismail remote. Kurang setel el toksyo kom hotel issue ay mal kurang sini malungil issue. Ending kurang sila tokta ng mulu asig hindi na mul mistri atrablu. Remember, lital ay sa gengal. Mul mistri atrablu en si atrablu matamal. Al sugum tamo si ay maluwit tamo bang gamiw lol tutakla. Kaya nga nga Attorney General, ma Minister of Justice. Now, Nga omral mo wasi ulguma Ministry of Justice maradal lang nga equipment til sufficient til lo telurior. Eng sebedel telgibel slow ni malugo restore ni. Alingal adel mlamo adiktra ais sel sigumong mesang eng mo spering or eng mo nya gudel mo marni. El al sils a Ministry of Justice adia ka Amerika el al sils mendregal dregal betigra a equipment el ngulo sigra ais. Raigal port Scotia mayak maigal bilas madial el mesoiso. Tospe abilis lo sigra ngal claro. Seya imong solution el ministry ko meserin da kalo ururni. Giril spenda do da kabelment ko mesel basetel al 19 الموت 2020 en biaga baset el todo el motor girel telurior el clolo do ma kulngit mal jigum ar adro hospital ma adro vela wasorir tel ai salvola que te ha lungis claro el siga do el mal sa minister of justice ma attorney general mal seb el mru la clolo riol girel tiang al sigum ndiak en met mo rapport vayat mascotio maral el mesovisco e dia seb edel matik ngire lo speren gadi del arme lo sigirni el al sils al chumo mo rascotio ram miguel en arni lo siga ga falo ma di segi da ora di comment nga di poman sulang
Sulang Ismail. Ngmaral to ko isela kulkoera atrabalu akumda sendi naksal mo clear mang losab edel mo mating losing tamal wat al adrablu leng. Government target is government by the people for the people. So our adrablu are the very people in the front line. Baby tira malib alla enforce alla ol taut alla. Mang ayay dia dire kal mo ko do ngal adrablu ngirel ngarinya partnership le selvo do rodel ngin mo kakarose eng mo ngaringi alitu trabitang mabitang eng mongoy atyal klalwal di malmol mal ngaringir velaw mang tirkal gukti ingara ablu dia kal adra la ma dia kal adra enforcement ma dia kal adra kura otutela lula velaw girela kital gara tirkal gukti ingara ablu lowreor malubet tangara mesay tangara shares tangayasa tirigay agirir el mesisi el kayudub el tomer araab el tirang arinya te elir el mortal klalo el mo roy derngi maluben dia kal rebetra asel ngi auspalil.
Doug, I got this thing that, why my sister is here, right? My sister is here because of her her experience of what she went through when I was using. Not only that, but I can really say that what she's doing now, her and her peers in our place for the youth, I mean, not only is she a guidance counselor in where's that? Community guidance. But these are the things that I'm like really asking, like to the people, like if you're good at something, use it. Like say, for instance, my sister. Now I'm going to pass this mic over to her so that she can kind of talk about a little bit of what they're doing in our place that deters these youth from going into drugs and alcohol.
Thank you, Jacob. I wasn't asked to come here and talk about that, so I'm sort of put on the. Now I have an opportunity to promote our sport and our activities and everything. Yeah, coming to that caller, but I'm gonna have to speak English. Really, like Alex did in recovery, keeping himself occupied. And to this day, I'll never forget, because he's actually my former supervisor when I first started at BH. He was my supervisor who introduced the work and everything. And I learned a lot from him. And basically, he shared his experience. And I'll never forget, I looked at him and I was like, wow, this man must be a little bit off. Because I come from a family of a lot more off people. And I just have a brother now. And here I am working with under this guy. You know, recovery was just all over in my face. And I'm just like, I think I got my work cut out for me. But I learned a lot from him and how he went about it. And it's really never quitting on yourself and others. it's hard work. Jacob, you like to say that, talents and gifts, and you give
Yes, it
the
is hard
community,
work.
and you, but it's not easy.
Of course.
it's not easy. I'm not in recovery, but I work a lot with people in recovery. I can say this, in our offices, people from all walks of life, for a variety of reasons, the sources of their problems, their illnesses, their symptoms, their motivation to recovery, it's all different. Everyone has their own unique, special story. I can say that as a family member, I was limited because I had only my brother to work with. And then into work, I met Alex, and then I saw another side of what caused him to use and how he recovered. And then for I think I've been in the division for 4 years now, going on 5. Wow. I didn't even think I was going to last that long. I'm seeing a lot more people come in and, getting into this drug, and I just never imagined, I never thought of it. I never thought of how they would end up using. Because first, I looked at my brother and I said, oh, he had a lot of issues, and he had a lot of childhood issues. And then I looked at Alex, and I was like, he was just a young adult who was into bad things, and he was a bad boy, and then he just got into the wrong things. But now I'm learning that there are a lot more who use it just for recreational purposes. I was shocked. Recreational? Who uses drugs for recreational purposes? And then there are others who use it for work. They need to stay up all night. They are doing the kind of work that needs them up all night, all morning, and you go out, tour guides. You're out there all day under the sun. You need to be strong. You need to be on your best physical strength. So there's so many reasons to why people use, and I've been blessed to be in this work. I try to do, I guess,
The things that you're doing now, volleyball and taking the kids. I mean, that's the one that I'm asking. Those are things that we're trying to promote to people, that even though you don't, like I said, you don't need to come sit here and talk about it. You can do those things like what you're doing. That's why, some people just don't know, okay, what can I do? So that's why I'm asking if you can share that.
Well, I do. I do work for the youth. I try to keep our youth active, because one of the main reasons why we have even organizations for youth is to keep the youth active, educated, and most definitely away from drugs, drug-free.
Did you see anything like what I saw at the Doc? We were seeing our younger cousins and nephews and nieces. They were drinking. They were getting sent to jail, right? That prompted up a lot of cops came down and took some of them and put them in jail. But even some of them got into accidents, driving while intoxicated. At those times, we did not have any programs. It was very limited. Wouldn't you agree, Ripka? It was very, but now it's picking up. I see that a lot of things are picking up in our hamlet, and it's a very good thing that Ripka and who are these?
It's not just me. There are other youth organizations all over Palau. I can name a lot of other folks like me who are trying to keep our youth out of trouble and keeping them physically active with sports. And I mean, I think this whole summer was the most packed, busiest summer ever. Starting with Bella Games, and then all these programs like Coro State partnered with West Care, where they do a week or two program in Muyuns, and it's all about educating in life choices, life skills, and communication. And then, of course, we have the environmental programs, Abil Society, who does every summer. About a week or two as well, where they go out and then they do all there are tons. Tons. So everyone.
What I'm saying is I'm hoping that those other hamlets that are kind of picking up, you're going the right way. So that's the we need to kind of keep them busy.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
think
keep them
Coro
busy.
State Youth Council
Yes,
is pretty
Coro
good.
State is very-
yeah, they're
oh, they're
very
very-
active. All the hamlet reps are really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all participating in everything.
Yang so kadil trialoreng selbolo ng ila segal adu ayakop ma Ripka adim sao taigel te alal ngi amura ngayas ka el tira a vulnerable el tola se ngaringa te el lir el mususye ar ada maklol ada mususye tir el mortial mangital kare mang tamalgo ya el ngi akura program malubeng ngondi malubeng tokoira ngayas kraigal hamlet aigal belu el wasing ngaringi material gukul kurang ngaringi ngalgir ta adrir el kura adi ngarabla el kura sebel ngaringi ate el la kuram hitel karal mortira rael el ngi tatril moray gi del program arwa abil society ma Coro State Youth Council
Coro State is very-
maigal hamlet aigal hang mendire kal ngaringi ya al adrengi yate al andin diswa kal dire kal dio maklat kala se triel maklol adel tira aliur tira kal ngal kal ngaray kal program komo kargikla rar maklol adel ngaringi ate al rar ngal kal bolong susertir waile tangara program komo kargikla mga du rar ngal kal looti yakantil tial mahitel gar el ice mendia kal bol ngaringi ate al letir el sisa paring.
Okay. Well, we're about to start closing down, Sadoy.
I
So-
need just a few minutes.
Okay. Oh, well, hey.
Komeng sa doon sa bel.
Of course.
Oy. Di swakal serado sa tersel waseng ule lay kay gidele hit tel garab lulat. Et tiang ulmo or sera 1800s. Telul ko rin Alex. Al mlaringi trial dula set ora scientist tra toira akar. Lomeo bay galgar al mopils. Seguid el teme la makamadra asyabal na World War II. Actually before say en longaringi ada lomeo bay gay gidel le ice. Detail ice sa mga era del lomelo. Hindi akal ko rado laseng powder makad mo mararastuang ng klil. Mga era del lomelo dol geringil el waseng ang klil ay gay gidel ephedra sinista.
Fedra Sinistra.
Egal ephedra sinista fori abadengel el del lomelo el ngara overber kara ablul adrogir yak name sangar belaw one ragay el family ragay el sinistal del lomle tia kora karakar ang kora ragay el udle nding kora bambu ay al adal es el lomong en ngaringa kora ping malub en white el pangal seguid ya ablol batig ngira seguid el time raw era mga madal wasi tiang ablol sabi elom kara kora tretre sel kora mo malnget taisnge malube ko klukla et miltig ngira sing mal yiterel magrura adel kora smira tretre mo dial malnget taisngel dial klukl dial masel tedire kaluluspe ngira karulay gali asma seguid el time mol nga makamad tama maybe talgib lam sisi say el rule 3 rar adal modia al madakt tamo bageu el mosabarir el remu la yel ngi atoera amakamad el gutmokle dia al bol gora mo madakt el is modia al magareu seguid at tulus per ngir seguid el time ra ang arang klel Soviet Union war al nga Hitler dire kalulus per ngira World War II rate mela siabal trigal kamakasi lomukalay gale skogi ang tadi ospe ay di makalya skogi nguklira adilira adrang bar del diobu kay kita gel ngwaseng di mo di aksel makabudram da de kita kay ngawala mang di mo ritiang isado e kamal sulang yakmal lombre nga sulit trial sponsors tial oy
Now, I would want to take this time and thank you, Alex, for coming and joining us. Dr. Wally, Ripka, thank you very much, and also thank you very much to all the callers for really bringing up good points. And what else? Oh, my sister wants to say something.
Sorry. No, if you have any questions and you need any questions on this whole awareness and any help that you need, call us at 488-1907 or 488-4711.
Okay, yes. Now, we've already gone, Sadhu, we've already gone past just a few, not as bad as before, but I would want to give a little words of encouragement to all the people struggling, like either you're addicted or your family member is addicted, is never quit. Never quit. Never quit on becoming better. The more you try, the better you will become in changing your life and making better life choices. Now, before we end this what do you call this talk show, I'd want to thank our sponsor, Vice President and Minister of Justice, Arnold Oilo. He's the one sponsoring this. So I really want to thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to talk about this very sensitive and very important matter. Okay. Now, sorry, I'm going to take a little bit of time, okay, to thank certain people that have been part of my life journey, who's helping me with these, with my journey in life of becoming, staying clean. There's Brother Steve Mapes Tewid, and also Father Rusk, my Uncle Felician, Bekwin Maol, and Manny Adalbay, Kaipo Raayungul, Rusyang Kotaro, and Division of Behavioral Health, also you, Dr. Wally, and especially my mom, my dad, my sister, and my brothers. And here's also one thing that Dr. Wally said, like really pointed out something to me, that no matter how I see it, I am here where I am, or because of the NEA for catching me, and also for my probation officer, Sebela Kwal, for always making sure that I don't fool around and go back to my old self again. Yeah. So, yeah, I want to thank you, Sebela. Thank you. And with that, I will close with a little psalm from a psalm. It's Psalm 23. The Lord is our shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd. I have everything I need. He lets me rest in the fields of green grass and leads me to quiet pools of fresh water. He gives me new strength. He guides me in the right paths as he has promised. Even if I go through the deepest darkness, I will not be afraid, Lord, for you are with me. Your shepherd's rod and staff protects me. You prepare a banquet for me where all my enemies can see me. You welcome me as an honored guest and fill my cup to the brim. I know that your goodness and love will be with me all my life, and your house will be my home as long as I live. It's something very powerful that I really hope that you guys that are struggling, and also me, that God will always be with us no matter what. So if you're having a hard time, turn to him. He's going to be there and he's going to listen to what you got. Thank you very much.